Okay, so again, hello and welcome everyone. If you don't know me yet, my name is Sapir. I'm a dropshipper. I run eBay stores for SaleFreaks. The purpose of these videos, of these webinars, is to share my knowledge with you. Okay, I talk only about things I do. I don't talk about things I don't do or don't know. Okay, and the purpose is really to help you grow your business and make you more successful and profitable. So, as I said, today we had two webinars. The first was on Monday. If you haven't seen it yet, search it in this Facebook group. It's there, a couple of posts below. And today we have part 2 of your questions and I answer them. So let's begin. So we had a SaleFreaks user that says something like this. He wants me to talk about the importance of having multiple Amazon accounts, of course, as you grow your stores. I see a lot of people fail due to not having enough or refusing to add more. So it's not really a question, it's more of a statement, but he wanted me to talk about it, and I will. So first of all, thank you for your very accurate and right comment. And I will talk about the importance of having multiple Amazon accounts. So guys, let's talk about dropshipping from Amazon. Okay? It's not secret that it became really, really hard to do it. Okay? Why? Because Amazon doesn't really like dropshippers dropship off of them. And they have the technology and they have the power to do everything they can to make our lives hard. And so, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, you can tell pretty easily by your Amazon account that you're dropshipping, right? Because you have a lot of orders and none of them is sent to your address, to your registered address, right? Each order is being shipped to another address with another name on it. So, you know, it's a no-brainer to figure it out. So Amazon, what do they do? I mean, they close accounts, right? They cancel orders, and those cancellations and accounts being closed, they hurt your eBay account, right? Because although you sell on eBay, you are very, very dependent on your supplier. And if you can't fulfill the order with your supplier, then your buyer in eBay will be angry, will give you bad feedback, and your metrics will suffer. And we don't want our metrics in eBay to suffer because we want to keep the highest level we can, the top-rated seller. So what do you do, right? I mean, this is the problem. Now, what's the solution? Okay, so how do you work with Amazon? So like this person stated in this comment, is having multiple Amazon accounts. Why? Because you can't really place a lot of orders from one Amazon account. Okay, for example, I mean the ideal would be to place one order per one Amazon account per 24 hours, right? So for example, I mean, this is, you know, the utopian world, right? If you have 200 orders a day from Amazon, in a utopian world, you'll have 200 Amazon accounts, okay? And you will place one order per day per account. And this is the safest way to go. But we're not living in a utopian world, and we don't have this amount of Amazon accounts. So I try to place no more than 4 or maybe 5. Really, 5 is the, you know, tops. No more than 4 or 5 orders a day per Amazon account. So if I have 200 orders a day from Amazon, and I only have 5 Amazon accounts, you know, the math doesn't work here, right? You can't place 4 orders a day per account if you have 200 orders and only 5 Amazon accounts. So you find yourself placing a lot of orders per one account, and the account will get closed pretty quickly. I mean, this is not the way to keep your Amazon account, longevity. You see what I mean? So this person he wanted me to talk about the importance of having multiple Amazon accounts as you grow your store. And he's right. If you won't add more slots, more Amazon accounts, you won't be able to maintain a lower number of orders per account per day. And you're putting yourself in a high risk to get your account closed. So just, when you see you can't maintain like 3, 4, maybe 5 orders a day per account, add another account, okay? This is my tip to you, and let's close this topic with this, okay? Okay, so another person said he's been struggling with strategies, okay? For example, using one supplier on one eBay account versus mixing the suppliers, etc. So, really interesting question. So let's think about it together, okay? So what happens when you have, let's say, 3 stores, okay? You have 3 stores. One store is dedicated only to Amazon. One store is dedicated only to Walmart. And let's say the third store is dedicated only to Home Depot. Or, I don't know, AliExpress. Oh, okay, but each store is dedicated to one supplier. Okay, then, it's not that bad, but you are putting yourself in a risk to fall behind, right? For example, I can say from my own experience, okay? For example, I managed to sell a lot, okay, from Amazon and Walmart. And I admit that Home Depot is more of a difficult supplier, okay? It's not good. I do make a profit out of Home Depot, but it's more difficult. I mean, the conversion rates are not as high as Walmart's and Amazon's. So imagine if I had a store that is dedicated only to Home Depot products. This store would suffer, right? Because as a supplier, Home Depot is more difficult and the conversion rate is lower. So, the store would just fall behind. And it's too bad, okay? Because, we want to make as many sales as we can in each store we have, right? So I'm all about mixing suppliers, okay? I recommend that when you open a new store, you start with Amazon, okay, just to get it going, just to generate the initial sales. And then once you do, you can start incorporating a second supplier, for example, Walmart, again, because the conversion rate is better. And then you can move on to, okay, because when you incorporate Amazon and Walmart, you incorporate 2 very big and good suppliers with a higher conversion rate, okay? And that will get your store going, okay? That will get you started, the first sales, a lot of profit, okay? Good reviews because the products are good. And then you can move on to more, I don't want to say like difficult suppliers, but you can move on to other suppliers, okay? So for example, suppliers with a lower conversion rate, for example, Costco or Home Depot. You see what I mean? So I'm all about mixing suppliers. I'm all about starting always with Amazon and then move on to Walmart, in addition to Amazon, of course, and then move on to other suppliers. Okay, guys, let me just refresh the page because I want to see your questions. Don't worry about your questions. I can already see that we have 5 comments. Don't worry. We'll answer everything in the end, okay, guys? After we've done with our presentation. Okay, so next person says he's been having a hard time scaling the business, okay? He wanted to know how to start as a beginner. So if you don't know, I made a couple of weeks ago 2 webinars. It was also 2-part webinar on how to grow from 1 store to 10 store. And in those webinars, what I said is, it's not going to be fast or as fast as you imagine, okay? Because I told you in those webinars that theoretically you could buy or create 10 accounts at once, but you won't know how to maintain them because maybe you're still slow with customer service, or maybe you don't really have it yet, like how to upload or how to source really hot selling items. Okay, so you don't really know what to do. Okay, so if you do it all at once, you'll just lose the stores because you won't know what to do and eBay will shut you down. Okay, so how do you scale? First, you start with one store, obviously, and you start alone. Okay, so no VAs. Okay, on purpose. Okay, because you need to learn the business first. There are too many dropshippers who rely on their VAs to run their business for them because they haven't learned how to properly dropship and maintain their business. And now they're relying on the experience of their VAs to run the business. So you start with one store and you take it as a lesson, okay, to learn the business. Okay, you do everything by yourself. You do the customer service, you do the sourcing, you do the listing, but through SaleFreaks it's automatically so. Okay, and it will serve you so you can learn the business. Okay, then after you start generating sales, okay, let's say three weeks in, okay, maybe you won't have a lot of work yet because the store will be small. But if you feel you have it, okay, you learned it more or less, of course, then you can move on to another store. So every time I get to $500 in sales, I move on to another store. But to get to those $500 in sales, it takes me about 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, what I do is I dedicate my time to find really, really, really good and hot items. And I upload them through the file import. I don't use the locator at the beginning, okay? I use the file import because I really take the time to source really good items, which will generate me sales, will give me good feedbacks, and will make me, profit, of course, a decent profit. Okay, so this is how I scale the business. I open one store, I take 3 weeks, I really put a lot of effort into it, I get to $500 in sales, then I move on to another store, while of course attending to the first store. Okay. Then when there's enough work already, and it starts hurting you as a business owner because you don't have the time anymore to create new stores, then it's the time to get yourself a VA. Okay, and you repeat the process every time. New store, get to $500 in sales in 3 weeks, okay, and move on. And all the while, you keep attending to the first stores. Maybe you do it or your VA does it, okay? If you want to go more in depth on the specific rules I said to how to do it, just, again, check this Facebook group, the former posts, and you'll see my webinars on how to grow from 1 store to 10 stores. It won't be fast, but it will be maintainable and it will be right. It will be the right pace, okay? And you'll maintain all 10 accounts, I promise you. Okay, guys, so another person asks about having multiple eBay and Amazon accounts, using proxies and staying off the radar. So, yeah, so, at today's reality in eBay, it's kind of risky to have only one eBay account. Why? Because even if you give good customer service, perfect customer service, your store is perfect, you don't keep anything to the last moment, you do everything on time, you're top rated seller, you still could be trying to log into your store one morning and see that you got an MC011, just like this, without any reason, without any justification, just like that. Okay, it's annoying, but you have to move on. So this is why we don't keep one eBay store anymore. And I've said it multiple times. Even if your main goal is not to become full-time dropshipper, even if you do it only for part-time, income. Still, please have at least 2 to 3 stores. Okay? At least 2 to 3 stores. Not to mention more, of course, but that's, depends on you. I mean, how do you wanna, where do you wanna take it? How do you wanna grow? And about multiple Amazon accounts, well, this really goes back to what I said in the first question about Amazon don't like people dropship off of them. And so in order to stay under the radar, what we do is we spread the risks. Okay, we spread we spread the orders over a large amount of accounts. So across one day, across 24 hours, we only place a very small amount of orders per account. Okay? So I told you guys, I do no more than 4 to 5 maybe orders a day. And if you can have more accounts and maybe lower it to even 1 to 2 orders per account, that's amazing. Okay, so that's why it's important to have both eBay and Amazon, a lot of eBay and Amazon accounts. Okay, now about using proxies. So I talked about it in the first part of the Q&A on Monday, but I want to mention it again. So when you open an eBay store or an Amazon account, right? You have to use, for both of them, you have to use some sort of a mean to hide your IP. No question about it, okay? Now, let's say maybe the easiest way to do it is through proxy. Okay, a proxy, really, the job of a proxy is just to hide your actual IP. So your accounts, either will it be eBay account or an Amazon account, won't get linked to each other. Okay, because if you don't use a proxy, even if you open several eBay accounts with different details, you'll still surf on your home internet. So they will get connected through your home IP. Okay, so this is the job of the proxy, to take care of this and keep you actually stealth. Okay, this is the meaning of a stealth account. Okay. Now, people usually use crappy proxies. Why? Because they want to save money. So they use cheap proxies. They use shared proxies, which means that the proxy is not unique to them. Other people can also use it. So the IP the proxy provides is not unique to them. And I just told you that if eBay sees your IP in some other eBay account, those accounts will get linked and you will get shut down. Okay, so what do you want out of a proxy? You want it to be not cheap, okay, because cheap is no good. You want it to be private, not shared, okay? I think it's called exclusive, okay? And you want it to be static. What does it mean? It means that it doesn't change, okay? You have a static proxy and you have a rotating proxy. A rotating proxy changes the IP every couple of minutes. Sticky proxy keeps the IP always the same. Okay, so you want a sticky, fresh, not shared proxy. And this costs money. Okay, people don't like to invest money apparently. And so they use crappy proxy, like the opposite of everything that I just said. And then they get shut down both by Amazon and eBay. Okay? One more word, guys, about proxies before we move on. Something that I mentioned as well in the first part on Monday. You don't have to bring your own proxy from home. When you add an eBay account to SaleFreaks or an Amazon account to SaleFreaks, SaleFreaks will provide you a proxy. Okay? And our proxies are pretty good. The only downside to it is that if you have to remove, for any reason, if you have to remove your eBay account or Amazon account and then put it again, the proxy will be different this time. Okay, so think about it as SaleFreaks provides you proxy per slot. So if you had, for example, a technical issue with your Amazon account or eBay account, and you went to technical support and they told you to remove the account and then add it back in, it will be added to a different slot this time. And when you add it to a different slot, you get a different proxy and the IP will change. Now, I can't tell you for sure that the change of the IP will get you banned, but it might. Okay, so just take this into consideration. If you want to use SaleFreaks proxy, you can, but take into consideration what I just said. If you want to bring your own proxy from home, you have to invest money. You have to invest money. No way around it. Okay, guys? And let's take a brief pause for a moment because I see more questions. I'm so glad, guys, because it means it interests you. So, again, we'll do it later. Okay, moving on, guys. So, another person said he's been struggling with business policies. Let's read. I have buyers keep shipping returns to my address registered with eBay and not using the return labels I'm giving them. So unfortunately, this is a common problem. There are buyers who are stupid. Really, I mean, if I bought something from someone and I had a problem and I had to return it, and the seller would give me a prepaid label, why would I still choose to ship it to another address, for God's sake? But, go figure. Anyway, what do you do? What do you do about it? How do you keep buyers from shipping, from using your home address? Okay? So, I don't have really how to show it to you, but I'll explain it. So, pay attention. So, when you go to your eBay account, right, you can access your account settings, right? And in the account settings, you have your personal details, right? So your eBay ID, your password, your email address, blah, 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 all of this, right? And in this section, you have addresses, right? You go to your account settings, you go to addresses. In the addresses, you have the home address that you put in when you open the account, and you have shipping address. Shipping address is where you want buyers to ship the item to you. So if you don't put anything there, eBay will assume that your shipping address is your home address. So you can go to your account settings, addresses, shipping address, and then put something in there. Okay, what I put in there is a sentence, not an address. I put a sentence. Please PM for further details. That's all I put. And for the zip code, I put like 99999 or 00000. Okay, but I mean, I don't put an actual address. I put a sentence. PM for further details. And then they turn to me, and then I tell them, use the label I gave you. Okay? Again, go to your account settings, go to addresses. You'll have shipping address, and in the street name, write PM for further details. And in the other sections, like the zip code and such, just put random numbers. Okay? You with me? I see you are, because I see more people have joined us, which is great. That's great, guys. So let's keep going. Stealth accounts, really hot topic. So it's a bit long, but let's read it together. So he wants to know more details, this person, about one, receiving funds Do you receive payments into separate PayPal accounts for each Stealth account, or do you use the same single PayPal account to receive payments for all the stores by setting the same PayPal in all stores? Business policies. Okay, so I think I made a video about Stealth accounts as well, or I know for sure I've mentioned it a couple of times. So again, you can check all my videos in this group, but of course I'll answer it again. So the whole purpose of Stealth account is to keep your eBay accounts unlinked. Okay. Now eBay have several ways to link your accounts. Okay, they can link your accounts if you use the same details, the same phone number, the same IP. Okay, and of course they can link your accounts if you use the same payment method. So if you use the same credit card to pay your fees, or if you use the same PayPal address to receive payments. So when I create Stealth accounts, I put a fresh, new, unused PayPal for every store I create. I'll say it again. For every store I create, I put a fresh, new, unused PayPal. Okay? Now, if you use the same, I mean before, and when I say before, I mean like a year ago, you could have used the same PayPal, to receive payment, right? You could use the same PayPal to receive payment in your business policy, and you wouldn't get linked. Okay, and your fees, you would pay them with different credit cards. But now I can tell you for sure, they started linking accounts with the PayPal address you use to receive payments too. Okay, they do. And I tried use the PayPal sub accounts, right? So if you don't know, you can link up to 7 different email addresses to one PayPal. So I tried to fool the system and use a sub account, which really leads to the same main PayPal, and I was still getting linked. How do I know that? Because back before the coronavirus thing, when you could still call them, they would block my account, and I would call them to try to reinstate it, and they would start asking me questions about the PayPal. For example, they would say, if your PayPal address is blah, 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 then why do I also see it connects to, and then it would say the main PayPal address. You follow me? So that led me to the conclusion that eBay, and of course, in the end, they wouldn't agree to reinstate my account. So that led me to the conclusion, in the end, they do make those connections, that they link the account with the receiving PayPal as well. So then I started creating Stealth accounts with different PayPals. So yeah, just use different PayPals, okay? The second part of this person's question is eBay managed payments going to mean the end of Stealth accounts? The answer is, I don't know. I don't know, because eBay doesn't really let out a lot of details about their managed payments, I'm sorry. So none of us really knows much, really. I mean, yeah, that's all I can say about it. I'm sorry. We'll know more when we'll get to this bridge, okay? We'll cross it together. Don't worry. So let's move on, guys. AliExpress. Oh, yeah. I haven't heard about it in a long time. Is there a way to tell the supplier to not include the invoice or receipt in the package? The answer is yes. When you place an order in AliExpress, you have a box to leave comments, so you can just put a comment, this is a gift order, please do not put a receipt, and they won't. Okay, they won't. Yeah, so that's for AliExpress. I should say, in a personal tone, okay? I don't want to give any recommendations. I'm just, told you, I'm talking from personal experience. I would reconsider about using AliExpress at this time. I mean, in the coronavirus era, okay, because shipping from China has become really, really, really long. And, this is just leads to angry buyers, bad feedbacks, item not received cases, and, it will hurt your eBay store. So I don't know to what extent you guys use AliExpress, but I would reconsider, okay? Because even if you protect yourself by extending substantially your business, your shipping policy, we said that buyers are stupid. They don't they don't look at the business policy, okay? They just open an item not received case after a month, okay, without even see the you said up front that it will take 2 months to get the item. Go figure. I don't have the energy to argue with buyers, so I just choose not to work with AliExpress at the moment. Of course, I'm sure that once we'll get over this Corona thing, I mean, AliExpress is very profitable, and I'm sure that we could go back to work with this supplier. Yeah. So, how to reply to customers who leave feedback that say it's from Amazon? So, what I tell them, I mean, if I get a message from a buyer saying that, why did I get a package from Amazon, or if a buyer left me a bad feedback saying this seller drop ships from Amazon, okay, I have a save template that basically says, hello, thank you for buying our products. Please know that I sell on multiple marketplaces. I sell both on eBay and Amazon. And sometimes, just for logistics purposes, I rather ship my orders from my warehouse from my Amazon warehouse. Okay. And of course, we're not responsible for the price differences, because each marketplace has its own fees. Something like that. I can give you the template if you want. But yeah, that's what I say, and most of them don't reply back. If they do, I don't reply back to them, okay? Because doing the ping pong thing of, yes, you drop it from Amazon, no, I don't, and blah, 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 it doesn't help to anyone, okay? So if they leave me a bad feedback, I just appeal it with this template, and that's pretty much it. So this person says he wants to know how to make an average profit that's over $2. And my answer to you, my friend, is to sell more expensive items. I mean, if your average profit per order is $2, that means that you sell pretty cheap items, or that you work on very low profit range. So either increase your profit range, or if you can't, because I don't know, for any reason you're not tax exempt or whatever, okay, if you don't want to increase your profit range, you could just sell higher ticket items, okay? Because if your profit range, if your average profit is 5%, making 5% out of $100 item, right? It's not the same like making 5% out of $20 item. So think about that. Okay, I saw it, and my eyes just lit up. I have to answer this question because this is such an important question. So this person wants to know, does it really worth using automation? And when I say automation, I guess he refers to order automation, right? So the answer is yes, 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 and again, yes. And let me tell you a story. So before SaleFreaks was done with the auto ordering for Walmart, right? we did everything manually, right? So we processed all the orders manually. And what happened is that, I have a life. You have a life. Everyone has a life. You don't work 24 hours a day. Your VA doesn't work 24 hours a day. And, the time difference, by the time I got to place the order, it was obviously hours after the order was submitted into SaleFreaks, right? So this time difference between the time the order came into SaleFreaks and the time I actually placed the order, a lot of things were happening. So prices would go up, and of course, this is my profit here that I'm losing, right? Or the item got out of stock, all of these nasty things we don't like. And I had, for example, 10 orders a day from Walmart, and maybe 4 of them or 5 of them, which is 50%, had these problems. Okay? So once our R&D department were done with the automation and we start processing, orders automatically, I don't have this problem anymore. Okay? Because now I'm not the factor anymore. So now when a order is getting into SaleFreaks, it also gets fulfilled automatically. So there is no more time difference between the time that it. I'm trying to say there is no more delay. Okay, there is no more delay caused by let's say human mistake, which is not a mistake. It's just limitations, okay? Human limitations, okay? Because none of us lives inside the computer or is on the computer 24/7. I hope I was able to really pass on to you the importance of order automation. It's so important. For every supplier, you can use auto ordering, do it, because you minimize the risks the risks caused by human limitations. Okay, this is the best I can rephrase it. Again, strategies and more real life examples. So again, guys, I think it's our last question before I get to your questions. But again, about what I can say about strategies is just this: focus on one store at the time. Okay, so start with one store, get to $500 in sales, move on to another store. Do the work yourself initially for a couple of months. Then hire a VA to help you. The items I'm uploading in the first in the start, let's say, are items I manually research. Okay, I specifically personally use Zik Analytics. You can do it manually or with Zik Analytics or any other software you want, but I prefer to do it manually at first because I don't have high limits in new accounts, and I prefer that each and every item I upload is well thoroughly examined and after thought and examination. Okay, and I go for a little higher profit, higher ticket items. I'm sorry. Okay, so I don't go for $20 items. I go for the average $50, $60 items. Okay, because I want the profit to be higher. Okay, this is the best strategy I can give you. Okay, and now, guys, let's move on to your questions. So I'm moving back to Facebook, and I'm reading this with you, so you can see exactly what I see. Okay, so let's do it together. So Angel says hi. Well, hello back. Michael says, hey, great point on multiple Amazons. The unwillingness from people to do this is madness. I see it a lot. Well, Michael, this is their problem. They will never grow. Okay, they will stay stuck okay, with a problem that's very easy to solve, okay? And that's their problem, not ours. If you're smart, you will get more Amazon accounts. And if you're smarter, you'll join the managed account service, because this will really make your life easy. Okay? Okay. Sharon says, I have an eBay account from September 2019. I started to sell 2 weeks ago on this account. How many listings I should list every day? My selling limits is 200 listings. So again, as I said, okay, so first of all, let me recommend you to watch my 2-part webinars on how to grow from one store to 10 stores, because I explain it further there. But basically what I do is, for the first month or so, I upload no more than 2, maybe 3 items a day. Okay? Then I move on to 5 to 7 items a day. Then I move on, then I increase it by a bit, okay? Every month I increase it by a bit, okay? By 10 items or so, 5 to 10 items, until I get to a maximum of 50 items a day. Of course, I'm talking about non-API stores, because non-API stores are basically, in eBay's eyes, manual stores. Okay, so you can't upload 300 items a day to a manual store. It's not realistic. So I start slow, 3 items a day in the first month, then 5 to 10 items a day in the second month, then 10 to 20 items a day in the third month, and then I keep going until I get to 50 items a day, and I keep it this way, okay? If you have 200 listings, then I hope you heard what I just said about strategies. You should really explore manually and resource for high-selling items with a selling history for at least 5 times the past 30 days. Okay? This will ensure a higher likelihood of you selling those items as well. Okay. Just expensive to add an account, £25 to add. So, listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a matter of, you have to consider both sides. From one perspective, you have you pay extra £25, right? On the other hand, you will gain much more profit because you will be able to process much more orders, right? That's my personal opinion. Now, if you do the math, and it's an entirely personal preference, if you do the math and you don't like it, okay, don't like what you see, then join managed accounts, because this is the only way to grow, is to add more accounts. If it's too expensive for you, maybe it's more convenient to just move on to managed account service, and you pay $15 a month, right? But you can you don't have to own your own Amazon accounts, and you can process as many orders as you want a day, because they're not being processed from your account. Okay, so take this into consideration. But doing neither, not adding more slots, nor joining the managed account service, meaning you don't have a way to process more orders. And if you don't have a way to fulfill more orders a day, you won't grow and you won't make more profit. And then you'll just find yourself in a couple of months desperate and just quitting the business. Okay? So you have to make a decision. You have to put money to make money. Okay? This is my answer to you. Okay. And actually, Michael here just said the same. Less than £1 per day. As you scale, you can always ask for a deal on multiples. That's true as well. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Just found a legit proxy provider. That's awesome, Andre. If you want to share it with us, that would be awesome, because most people just go for the same, same common proxy providers, which are very, very crappy, just to say the truth. Okay. I know a lot of people recommend IP Burger. I haven't tried them myself, but maybe it will work. Okay, Angel says, I have a concern about using. Wait, let's click this. I have a concern about using Amazon Prime Rewards credit card that gives me 5%, cashback. My question is, how much is the maximum amount of money back that I can receive monthly? I'm about to receive $6,000 monthly from a few eBay stores I own, and they lowered my credit lines. So if you don't have a credit to pay for those orders, you have to sort it out first. As opposed to how much cashback you can get back, that really depends on the volume of transactions you're gonna make, because you make 5% cashback from this credit card. Okay, so really depends. Okay, if you make really, I can't answer it because it just depends on the volume of orders. Any volume you make, just you make extra 5% out of it. Okay, but if you don't have a high credit line, you need to sort it out first, or use gift cards, or use the managed account service. But it doesn't matter. You have 5% cashback. That's awesome. I mean, that's awesome. Andre asks, do you open business PayPal accounts? Yes, I do. Okay, I talked about it a lot before. I do. This is the only way that I can afford putting a fresh, unused PayPal to every stealth account I create. Okay, because when you open a personal PayPal, if you'll try to open more than 3 or maybe 4 accounts, let's say you try to open your 5th personal account, PayPal will just block this account and you won't be able to use it. But when you do it with a business account, you can basically, I'm not saying they won't shut you down, but you can open a whole lot of more accounts. So yeah. Okay, guys, do you have any more questions? I think I answered them all. I think so. It looks like it. Okay, yeah. So if you have any more questions, you're always welcome to leave them in the comments, and I try to get back to them. And I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. You can always go back to this video and rewatch it and, relearn everything. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys. You know what? Just one more thing before I finish. I forgot to tell you. Suppliers. If any of you who was watching right now is from UK, guys, we promised you we'll start supporting more UK suppliers, and in a couple of days, really a matter of couple of days, we are gonna release an announcement, okay, with the new suppliers we're gonna support. So for you guys, so yeah, I almost forgot to tell you about the suppliers. So I know I mentioned on Monday it will be a matter of time, but now I just got a message from our CEO that it will be a matter of days. So that's a good news. And stay tuned for the announcement. And now I'm saying goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in the next week's webinar. And have a great day for now.